It opens up the browser. And it opens up the YouTube. And I think we are live on YouTube.
We are on YouTube and checking on LinkedIn, but should be the same.
Okay,
Maybe with
good.
most of the time we have just a little delay. Should come.
That's good. Okay, so perfect.
Ready to start.
I love when it's easy like this. It's not always the case. Sometimes we have issues with Restream or YouTube or whatever, but here
I don't
it
see
runs
us on,
smoothly.
on LinkedIn, but I don't know if it's me or not. I don't know if you can check as well, just to be sure. It should be okay on both at the same time.
See on LinkedIn. So let me check.
Oh yes, that's okay. We are.
Okay, that's
Okay,
okay.
perfect.
Perfect. All right.
Okay. So I think let's start with community meeting number 25 already. And I'm very happy to have some of you folks available, and especially welcome Pratik.
Thank you, Yasin.
Happy to have some community members with us today. So that's very cool. Thanks for joining. And maybe, by the way, to start with, if you maybe would like to introduce yourself and say a few words to the community and why you are joining us today.
Yeah, I think this is not my first time attending a Microcks meeting. Yeah, so just getting started again after the weekends. Yeah,
And what's your, and are you coming for a specific topic, or you are just coming, let's say, for having a chat and see how you can maybe understand and contribute to the product? What's your main goal, let's
I,
say?
I can say both. Yeah, like last time I was about to join, but I think you guys were at the KubeCon,
Yeah,
if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I also like wanted to start contributing to Microcks again in any of the case I can.
it's very cool. All right, thanks a lot for this intro. And in any case, we always welcome anyone, and especially people like you who are motivated to contribute on a project. So just welcome
Yeah.
everybody. So maybe Laurent, we can start with a few updates. And because yeah, we've missed the latest community meeting because we were at KubeCon during a full week, so it
Sorry,
was quite
I
busy.
have issues with the microphone or with the headphones. I don't know if it's only me, but I did not get your last sentence, Yasin.
So I'll let you maybe take over, but maybe it's noisy where I am.
Yes.
Regarding release, not the latest release, and some updates on some points that we can share.
Yes, exactly. So as you said, Pratik, we had to cancel the latest community meetings, and I think we don't have a community meeting since we released the 1.13 version of Microcks. So that could be the head start of this meeting,
Mm.
just going through the latest release notes and the blog post, just to check it out and see how things have moved these last weeks. So just sharing my screen. Let me just sharing. Okay. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. Yes, let me check. Yeah. Now you should see my screen. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the blog post for the 1.13 release, it was 3 weeks ago. Um, and it's one of the largest release since the beginning of Microcks. We have something like more than 80 issues resolved on something like that. Uh, yes, 80 resolved issues and 12 different contributors. So that was a pretty large, and it took some time to merge everything to check everything was running smoothly before releasing. So that's why also compared to the previous version, we take much longer, let's say, to pack everything together and to be sure we release something that was consistent. Uh, we call this release something like observable usability because that was the two main themes of this release. And I would say that the release themes are not something we are necessarily working on upfront. This is much more something like, okay, what have we got in our basket in the release? What people want to put the priority on. And here, obviously, it was something about the usability, about the user experience, about making Microcks being easier to use, and also about making Microcks more, I would say, easy to understand, more observable from
Mm.
the user and the developer standpoint. So that's why yes, we find this nice picture of nice mountains. We love mountains with Yasin, but also still very clear night, allowing us to see the path to the summit, I would say. So let's start. And first thing first, the first thing that is, let's say, like the top of the iceberg, immediately visible when you start this new Microcks release is that now we have a dark theme. And so for those of you who like and who claim for a dark theme for many months, we now have something that is, I would say, very usable from a user point of view. So very classic stuff right here. We have this small icon here on the top right corner, so you can switch between dark and light, and you can also yes, it reminds your previous choices. So if you picked the dark theme previously and then close your browser and then reopen everything, you will stick with the dark theme for this Microx instance. So pretty handy. Yeah, still some stuff to polish. I'm not an UI expert, and thanks to the community, we had some people who are way better than me doing a UI design, and so I think we still have some stuff to be polished and to become more visible, more usable in this dark team, but still a great start to build upon. I don't know, you guys, if you are if you prefer light team or dark team. For me, it's always light team, but I know that maybe young people love dark theme.
I'm always the fan of dark theme, by the way.
Ah, okay, cool.
Um, Maybe we
And
are too old.
so you're still using the light team, Yassine?
Only, yeah, on by default.
Oh, by default. Okay, so let's see, can dark and dark like this. But yeah, so yeah, I'm in the light team. So yeah, but anyway, if you have some experience in design and if you had some suggestion on how to make the dark theme even more appealing, yeah, drop us a note, start and create a small issue for that, and we would be happy to get feedbacks on it. That would be cool. Second thing, and I think we already demonstrated that in the past, is that we also wanted the user experience and the workflow of using Microcks to be more easy. And we've done that, but just transforming the whole Microcks application as being drag and drop enable. So typically, you can just take files from your file explorer, from your desktop, whatever, drag and drop this to the Microcks application, and immediately you will now have a quick import dialog that will open up that way so that you can just make your choice, just check the box if you want this artifact to be a secondary artifact, and then hit the green upload button, and that will be very easy to upload stuff in Microcks, also make Microcks download stuff with this quick import stuff. So you can also um, enable this quick import stuff just using, let me show you here, just using the quick import, the plus icon here on the top right corner as well. You don't have to do drag and drop. You can just hit the button, or you can do drag and drop to trigger this dialog opening, and then providing your artifacts or your artifact URL for having Microcks download it. So pretty handy also to use it. I don't know, Pratik, if you have tested out or not yet. But yeah, it could be much more easier. Let's say that, yes, having to go to the importer, creating
I
an
think at
importer.
uh,
Yeah,
okay, I think at the last time when I was in the commit meeting, I think you introduced this quick import
yeah,
feature. Yeah, then I
yeah,
tested it. Yeah, I know.
yeah, exactly. It was a preview at that moment. Now, it
Yeah,
just had been packed in the 1.13. Okay, so that was the first part. I would say the top of the iceberg, all the visible stuff when you launch this new release. Also in this release, related to observability, we had not completely rewritten, but we had made a major refactoring on the Microcks mocking engine. Because we know that users often faced some challenges when they wanted to understand how things were going inside, when they wanted, for example, also to troubleshoot how the dispatchers were configured. So we were looking at a way to provide much more details on how things were working internally. And so we finally decided to review the implementation of the mocking engine by reusing OpenTelemetry inside. And so from this new 1.30 version, you now have this ability to have full live traces on the different mocks. Okay, so you will have this pane that can be folded or unfolded, and that allows you to get, yes, basically traces on your mocks to have details on how the mock engine receive, acknowledge, understand, and decide to response to an incoming request on the mock engine. So typically, you have this ability also to get details on the trace, see, for example, the different elements of the incoming request, see the configured dispatchers, see how Microcks is computing a dispatch criteria, that is the fingerprint that allows then the mocking engine to retrieve the correct response matching the incoming request, and so on and so forth. And so we basically hope that it will provide users more details, more insights on how Microcks works internally, so that we ease the developer experience.
And something we can certainly highlight and mention, Laura, is always bright ideas and contribution are coming from the same contributor, which is Apova. And last but not least, we just saw on social today that he has just been graduated as a, I think he has validated his master degree, his engineering degree today. So
Yeah,
congrats for all the
congrats.
contributions he has done and
This
also
is really
for
nice.
what he's, yeah, that's very cool. We are very happy for him. And we
Yeah,
thank him a lot for all the contributions he has done because that's just giant.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Apova. Yeah, it's cool. Really, really cool. And so, finally, one thing we can also do very easily with these new live traces is also to, of course, to have live traces, I would say, at define within the scope of a single mock, but we can also have live traces within the scope of user interaction. So typically, if you want, if you are, let's say, a developer that is mocking many different dependencies using Microcks, and you want to check out that your application is correctly reusing the different mock endpoints provided by Microcks, you can also have this consolidated, see this aggregated view at the user standpoint. So you can see here, for example, that this user is actually using this gRPC service, but also this REST API pass-through service, and also get access to the details of all the different traces. So that's really cool, and I think that's also really powerful to check the the in-depth behavior of your application, checking that it calls the different mocks accordingly at the right time, at the right moment, the right sequence to to ensure your application is correctly implemented.
And at KubeCon, we have had some very, very good feedback and traction on this new feature. That's very, very nice. And also some new opportunities with the Open Telemetry project and team, because we really like the integration that we have been able to do, especially because it looked like that we are certainly the first CNCF project who put hotel within their core engine for this purpose for observability point of view. So that's quite innovative, again, for Microcks, but also very, very nice from a collaboration point of view with Hotel. And I think we're going to work and move forward with them on creating a blog post and, let's say, showcasing what we have done all together.
Exactly, yes. And I think also from a developer perspective, it also opens the door to many other enhancements and more, especially on the test containers module, because I think yes, we still have to figure out how to do that, but it could be nice at some point, to add some new test assertions that allows you to, for example, assert that your application has actually called just one service or two service. If it has called many service, check that, for example, those two services have been called in sequence, or these two other one have been called in parallel, this kind of stuff. And I think that now, thanks to the traces we have into Microcks, this is actually easier to do, easier to provide some API that would collect the traces and do the internal checks, just also to figure out if, from an external user point of view, we have done all the orchestration correctly as it was expected or defined in the spec. So that's pretty cool, and once again, it opens the door for for perspectives and way to use Microcks in a testing standpoint. So obviously, if you have ideas, if you have requirements, I know that some people, for example, are working on uh, microservices that are doing complex orchestrations based on business rules, business constraints, but also for optimization purpose. And yeah, if you have some use case in mind, if you'd like, yes, to share your use case, but also to share your ideas on how you would like to easily check that these orchestrations are correctly implemented, please, here again, send us a note, just create an issue, open up a discussion on GitHub, on Discord, whatever, the channel, and yeah, I really be happy to to get feedbacks and to get some insights on how we can provide those utilities and leveraging this open telemetry traces for that purpose. And I think that's it for the live traces topic. Any comments, Yassine, Pratik? Don't be shy.
No, I think that's a good
Not
overview
so.
of this new release, which is quite huge.
Yeah, right.
Okay, cool. So now
Yeah,
still from yeah.
no, but I was thinking, yes, we still have this brand new stuff, which is again giant. So go ahead, please.
Yeah, so now still from a usability point of view, we one uh, one huge improvement also with this release is the integration of the new scripting engine within Microcks. So maybe some of you know that we already have something that was called the script dispatcher in Microcks, and it was based on the Groovy language. So it allows you to provide scripts to implement some business logic, some computation logic that could be plugged into the mock retrieval process. So basically, it was super flexible, and so you can hide, computation, whatever. But there was one big drawback of this script dispatcher is that, or maybe two big drawbacks. The first one is that you have to know Groovy. And even if Groovy is quite similar to Java and also to JavaScript at some points, it's a bit different. So it's not a mainstream language and you have to learn Groovy. And the second drawback is that the script dispatcher was not available when you use the Microcks native distribution. For those of you who don't know, the Microcks native distribution is a native compiled container image that provides a very, very, very fast startup, more than 10 times faster than the regular distribution. And that is particularly well suited for being run into your ID, your test unit, your CI/CD pipelines, whatever. So native compilation is really a big stuff we are now considering as a first-class citizen, and obviously it was a real pain that the script dispatcher could not be executed into this environment. And so we started to look at different solutions, and then we had a discussion with Andrea Perufo, that is from IBM, and I think it was a former Red Hat guy. Just moved to IBM a few months ago, like yes, most of the people working at Red Hat on middleware stuff. And Andrea was working on WebAssembly integration, and more precisely on the integration of a JavaScript engine compiled using WebAssembly into Java applications. So this is the purpose of the QuickJS4J project. And so Andrea proposed to write a simple POC to just demonstrate how you can integrate this into Microcks. And we decided to integrate this because it was very easy. And so now you can just use regular JavaScript into Microcks to implement your own dispatching logic. And the very nice thing is that it is, yes, still compatible with the native compiled binary, so we can start in a few milliseconds, and it offers you all the, let's say, on the mainstream commodities of JavaScript. So very cool to have this in Microcks. So as an example, this is the kind of thing you can now very easily do with the JavaScript engine. You can access the request header, for example. You can log stuff. And by the way, all the things you will log here in your script will also appear in the live traces. So we have a very in-depth integration of both the scripting engine and the live traces. You can, yes, implement some business logic. So here it's a simple switch, checking the test case header and deciding if we should return the negative amount response or the null amount response, the positive amount response, and so on and so forth. So you can see that you can implement complex logic just providing your JavaScript here. So very, very nice. You can also reuse all the different APIs that were previously available on the Groovy script. So for example, if you want to implement uh, a stateful mock, the stateful mock that remember your previous interaction. And so you can, for example, uh, put new items in a cart and then check out your cart and then compute the total price for your cart, this kind of stuff. You can use this simple store API, getting a foo object that was previously stored, or putting a new bar object with this value, or deleting a previous base object that was stored in a previous interaction with the mock. So you have everything you need to write your custom logic and your custom persistent logic for having stateful mock. So very easy and still pure JavaScript. So really, really nice to use. So thanks again to Andrea for this awesome contribution. And yes, that's what I was saying just above. We have now also worked on the developer experience, so you can now edit your script directly into the Microcks UI, but you have now also this live traces panel just at the bottom of this editor, and you have this nice try it now button just right here, so you can just, without leaving the configuration page, edit your script, try it now, see the results in the live traces. If it's a script and you have a logging statement like here, you will also see the logging statement just right in your live traces. If you're making mistakes or typos editing your scripts, you will have also yes, direct feedbacks with the different exception with the stack traces. So yes, tuning and troubleshooting custom script has never been so easy in Microcks. So, and that's really, really cool.
It's a very strong improvement, and especially as you said, Laurent, the fact that we've been able to release both. The new way to write dispatching script in JavaScript, but also easily debug them, creating them, testing them using the live tracing. Both of those features are really incredible, clearly, and the
Yeah.
feedback from the community and adopters is really, really nice, because that's really
I agree.
speed up their development life cycle, and especially on that point, which was not easy, clearly, and we can acknowledge that. But it was not easy previously to debug or understand, especially for complex workflows.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the very nice thing also is that this is available for all the different protocols and all the different API styles. So, whether you're doing REST, GraphQL, gRPC, even legacy SOAP web services, you will have the same kind of traces, the same explanations on what's going on, and you will have this ability to tune things very, very easily. So that's really, yeah, a huge step forward in giving insights and explanation on how things are working internally.
And last but not least, as it's all based on hotel, you can send all this information to your Grafana system or anything that you on which you would like to compute all those metrics for your own purpose. If you would like to store all that information, because you have multiple Microcks version which are centralized for hundreds of developers, feel free to reuse and keep that. It's easy to use it within Microcks, but you can externalize all that information and compute them the way you need and the way you would like. So that's also very important for QA, compliance, and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's worth to mention that yes, all the internal stuff are based on OpenTelemetry and are can be used directly without the need of deploying an external OpenTelemetry collector and all the stacks. Uh, Basically, all the live traces features in Microcks will work out of the box. But if you have an OpenTelemetry stack and collector that are already available, you can also configure Microcks to collect or to send those traces to this OpenTelemetry infrastructure. So you will have way more information than just how the mocks are working. And this new explanation, this new spans from the live traces part will be also introduced, will come to enrich the global OpenTelemetry traces you will be able to collect. So that's really cool that it's not either or, you can still have both. You can have live traces out of the box in each and every situation and configuration, even when you are using the native compiled image of Microcks. But if you also have an external OpenTelemetry infrastructure, you will be able to get this additional information and to have it injected into regular OpenTelemetry traces. So that's really cool and really powerful. And I think that's it for the main stuff. And we have plenty of other stuff. One thing that I I'm particularly proud of because it took us a long time. You see here the number of the issues very low. It was open for years, and it was this one was about how we were doing dependency resolution in protobuffer files. Resolution protobuffer file is quite complex. There is not that much documentation on how to structure your repositories, what are the best practices, how to do stuff, and so on. And so it took us time to, yes, to figure out how to properly do that. But now we have something very robust for doing that, and we have unit tests, integration tests that are doing that with, for example, the Google Cloud gRPC APIs that are uh, yeah, that are importing dozens and dozens of of dependencies. So we are quite confident that now we have something rock solid regarding the dependency resolution mechanisms in protobuffer and gRPC. So that's really cool.
And
Uh,
also some improvement because that was also coming, this gRPC stuff and so on has been highlighted when we were also testing MCP endpoints. And,
yeah,
a lot of improvement on gRPC, but also on the way we expose mock through the MCP protocol. And for those who have not noticed or may have missed what we released a few months ago, all the stuff that you are able to mock using Microcks are available and accessible through the MCP protocol as MCP tools. So feel free to use it and feel free to jump on any LLM or agent stuff you would like to build on top of it.
yeah. Yeah. We have a few videos on the YouTube channel for demonstrating this, but yeah, technically now any mock endpoint that you have in Microcks is automatically turned into an MCP endpoints, providing MCP tools. So we think it's also very helpful for the developers, the designers, so that very early in the development lifecycle, they have this ability of checking out that the API they are designing is or will be actually, let's say, MCP, LLM, or AI friendly. And yeah, it's also give very nice insights and feedbacks on how you can design an API for an AI use case in mind. So that's cool. Maybe if I need to highlight one more new feature, it will be this one. Uh, we have something that is called new delay strategies for latency simulation. And I think this one is very important and was very frequently requested by users. So you may know that we have this ability to simulate a delay, and until now it was always a fixed delay, 10 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds for this operation. And now we have added some new strategies that allows you to define random latency simulation, ranged latency simulation, this kind of stuff. So you will have to, yes, the ability to simulate and to have more variability also in the variation in the simulation. So that's quite nice if you are doing some performance testing using Microcks as a backend simulation. You will have this ability to have yes, real life simulation with real life latency simulation. So that's cool.
Yeah, and as you know, for the people who like to discover, join Microcks and contribute to it, as you can imagine, that's a lot of update changes. So if you repeat all the stuff that we have in the doc, or if it's not documented as based on the latest stuff that we have introduced, that's a very giant opportunity to contribute. Help us to keep the documentation up to date, to keep it accurate, because that's to be honest quite a challenge as well. So that could be a
Definitely,
good way to
definitely.
start
Yeah,
contributing.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I know, Pratik, you did a lot regarding documentation, and that's
Yes.
really appreciated because, yeah, it's a lot of work to keeping everything up to date.
Yeah, and thanks for that
Definitely.
because that's very useful for all the community.
And I think that's it regarding the 1.13 walkthrough. So I think we had a stop on the main
Yeah,
new features, main new announcements. So that's cool.
yeah, and feel free to check it out and let us know if you discover any glitch or if you have any questions or way to improve it again and again and again. So
Yeah,
that's the way we like to collaborate.
yeah, exactly.
And regarding collaboration, I just put in a chat, Laurent,
Definitely.
the recap that we have written for regarding all week at KubeCon for the one who would like to know more, because usually when we cancel a community meeting, it's really because we cannot do it clearly. So this time that was mainly due to jet lag and time frame and so on, but also because the week was very, very, very packed, which is always the case for KubeCon for us. We have had a lot of activities, a lot of networking, a lot of interaction with adopters, partners, the ecosystem, and other projects. So this is just a recap, short recap to highlight, let's say, some of the few major activities that we have done during the week. So feel free to check it out. It's on LinkedIn. It's an article on LinkedIn. And then you may have a better idea and understanding of, let's say, what we are doing when we are far from home during a full week. So that's I think a nice point as well. And the other one, I think, Laurent, that we can let's say share the information with live with the community because it's something that you have done a few maybe more than a month now. Microcks has been invited to the Amadeus Engineering Day within their headquarters. It was an event dedicated to their internal population, developers and engineers. So hundreds and hundreds of engineers all over the world were fully dedicated during 2 days for that event. And as you may have know as well, Amadeus is now an official public adopter of Microcks, which is really, really cool for us because they've made some very nice contributions as well. They have done some talks and they are always trying to, let's say, push the limit of the way they use Microcks. As you can imagine, Amadeus is a big organization, so the way they use the solution is quite heavy, let's say, and at scale. So that's giving a lot of very nice feedback. And Laurent have done a workshop. I think it was an hour and a half, Laurent, or something like that.
2 hours,
2 hours.
workshop, yes. So, yes, it was a workshop using Java Stack and more precisely using Quarkus. And so if you want to, yeah, to have a deep dive on what we propose and what we provide as let's say, developer experience when joining forces between Quarkus and Microcks, yes, this is the workshop for you. So 2 hours workshop introducing what is Microcks and the pain we solve very quickly, and then jumping to a full uh, a full application that is still available that is available on our Git repository. Full application that, yes, simulates, let's say, some kind of business application we can find in large corporation, focusing on a microservice that is called here the order service, relying on an inventory service, relying on a payment service, and then explaining how we can just develop everything, configure everything to have Microcks being used under the hood and providing mocks, uh, allowing you to write unit tests for REST API, for asynchronous API, if you're doing some Kafka stuff, for example. So yeah, 2 hours, that was the pain for learning all this stuff.
And the good point is that everything is on GitHub. And thanks to Amadeus, they have done a very nice recording and they shared the video and they gave us the right to share it publicly. So we are also very happy that we can, let's say, share it more broadly to everybody. And we'll do an announcement next week on social. We'll provide a direct link on the video, direct link on the GitHub repo. So then everybody can check it out. And for people who are more, let's say, developers who like to do everything within their IDE, who like to discover or are working with Quarkus, this is clearly for you. that's a very enhanced, let's say, application and way to use Microcks. So feel free to check it out. And I think that's very, very good material as well.
Yeah, so basically full tutorial step by step, and yes, it learns you everything on how to use Microcks.
And again, if you do it and if you discover anything wrong, that's a nice way to contribute. Keeping the demo live and accurate, again, that's very important for the others.
Okay, so that's cool. Anything else, Yassine, you wanted to
No, I
shout
think
out?
I think already quite good regarding a recap of what we have done for the latest weeks. We'll be at API Days Paris, 10 of December. We'll also be at another event in Paris, more or less same time, which is named Open Source Experience. So let's say we keep going, we keep pushing in order to, let's say, promote the project and network with the community and let's say showcase with adopters, local adopters that we have. So if you are around, feel free to reach out again. And I think that's it for me. I don't know, Pratik, if you have any question or any points you would like to highlight, feel free to do it.
Not from my side, I think.
Cool, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good for me.
Yeah, maybe
That's
I've got one latest announcement.
sure.
Yes, so something new that a new initiative that has just started
Oh
when
yeah.
we came back from KubeCon. Uh, we learned at KubeCon, but also from another adopter, that there was this new kid in town. Let's say this framework or this, let's say, tool set called Aspire, that has been proposed by Microsoft. So basically, Aspire is, yes, a tool set that was at the origin only for .NET, but since then has been extended to some other languages like JavaScript, like Python, and and Java. And I see it as an integrated development and tool set for enhancing the way we are developing microservices. So basically, it provides you facilities for starting containers, managing your dependencies, provide you facilities for um, uh, implementing OpenTelemetry traces and so on. And so we started a new repository called Microcks Aspire, okay, to provide a first .NET implementation of Microcks in Aspire. And so typically we are close to release a first version in a few days, I think. And we already have some package that are available on Nugget, the .NET package manager. So if you want to check it out, to give it a try, feel free to just release and use this preview. And we are also building a full demonstration application to explain how you can use it in your application. And so you will see if you are accustomed to test container or this kind of stuff, you will see that it's very similar. So here, for example, you will see how a C# application can just explain how to add microcks to the Aspire runtime, importing artifacts, main artifacts, secondary artifacts, and also rewiring the application so that the order API service will be based on these third-party dependencies and mock endpoint provided by Microcks. So if you are familiar with test container, you will see that there are very big similarities, but Aspire is also providing much more capabilities. So yeah, check it out and probably we will have a release in 1 or 2 weeks. But yeah, we are pushing hard at the moment on the Aspire stuff, and we have Sebastian that is working, yes, a lot on it, and that's really cool. We also have let me check, a new contributor just right here. Where is it? I just merged, yes, Sunny, just right here. I merged the first PR a few days ago. So Sunny is from Microsoft as well and is starting contributing. So thanks a lot, Sunny. Thanks a lot to Sebastian for pushing that hard. And yes, I hope we will have something. Uh, yeah, in a few days, I would say. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and big shout out to Sebastian. You said Laurent. For the one who don't know, Sebastian is a co-owner of this .NET initiative, and I mean he pushed all the expertise on that, and we really thanks him for that, because that's great, really great, because we are not that much connected with the Microsoft ecosystem, to be honest, so far. That's a game changer for Microcks, and especially going to open the door to brand new type of way to use Microcks, and especially within the Microsoft ecosystem. So that's very, very cool. That's very promising, and you're gonna certainly hear much more on that pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah, thanks for that, Laurent, because this one we should not have missed the to promote this one, because that's huge. That's a very, very huge role. And Sebastian is really amazing on that. For the one who don't know, Sebastian is working for AXA, the insurance, which is using .NET a lot. So guess you're gonna certainly have some in-house application. We hope so. Let's say. Cool. So I think we are reaching close to the hour. If it's fine with you guys, maybe we can close this community meeting, and
Mm.
we'll see all. I mean, the next one is in 2 weeks. For the one who have not follow, we try to advertise a few days, or today I just advertised it 2 hours before. Sorry for that, but usually we advertise the day before we are doing a community meeting, but it's very regular. It's on every Thursday, twice a month, different time zone for everybody to be able to join. And thanks for Pratik, which is joining us live from India.
Yeah,
Yeah, good to see you, Pratik. And yeah.
Yeah.
same here.
All right. So
Okay.
thanks a lot, everybody, and chat with you soon.
Bye-bye, folks.
Yeah,
See you around.
Bye.
bye bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Bye.
You too.